COVID-19 has brought many new challenges to families vacationing abroad. Now, joining me is Sandra McLemore, a travel industry expert who says once you've secured the flight to return to the United States, there are still things you need to do before you go to the airport. We're going to talk about that. And there is a checklist that the State Department recommends to Americans abroad. And Sandra, let's talk about that. First, travelers are urged to enroll in a certain program called STEP. What is that about?
That's correct, Dr. Phil. So travelers, whenever you head abroad, whether it be at this time of year or any other time, you're strongly recommended to enroll in STEP. Now that stands for the Smart Traveler Enrollment Program. Basically, that's the government's way of being able to contact you and provide notifications in the case of an emergency. It's something you can do for free online before you leave, and you'll let the government know where you're going to be traveling and approximately your dates.
Okay, and so this includes something if political winds shift, anything that might happen. Uh, there could be a tsunami, there can be things happening that affect your travel plans. The government will let you know. And you need to have a travel plan that does not rely on the US government for assistance because you're responsible, as you said earlier, to get yourself home, right?
Yeah, that's correct. And I think that that's quite a misconception that I don't know if we watch too many blockbuster dramas of evacuations and extractions in the middle of the night, but it just doesn't happen in real life. You need to be prepared to be able to get yourself home or at least take the advice that the government gives you if something was to happen while you're traveling.
Okay, but if you get into extraordinary circumstances where the world shuts down in a pandemic like this, where flights are canceled, et cetera, I do expect the American government to step up and provide advice, information, help to get its citizens home in an unusual circumstance. And I don't think that's unreasonable expectation.
No, absolutely not. And I 100% agree with you. And there are measures in place for you to be able to get that help. So my advice to anybody who is stuck abroad right now, the first thing you need to do after you've registered on STEP, even if you didn't do that before you leave, is to get in contact with your local embassy or consulate where you are traveling. So seek shelter in place, stay safe, follow the local laws and regulations. The last thing that you want is to find yourself on the wrong side of the virus and on the wrong side of the law. But reach out to the embassy because the embassy are your connection to the American government. They'll be able to update you on evacuation plans and the options that are available to you.
Also, check with your airline, cruise line, travel operators regarding any updates because that's changing constantly as well, right?
Oh my goodness, absolutely. So I think that we've learned this here in the United States that everything changes every day. It's a very fluid situation. And the same thing with your travel suppliers. My hat goes off to the cruise lines and the airlines and the hotel industry for consistently every day updating their websites. And it's really important that if you're stuck outside the country right now, that you are checking your airline website, that you are checking your cruise line website, your hotel chain website, and just keeping up to date there. I also want to point out that you should also be keeping up to date with the CDC website, even if you're outside of the country. Now, we know that the CDC is an American authority. However, there are some great tips there to help you, just in case you're not getting that information where you are, to be able to live healthily and stay safer and prevent COVID-19 as well. That's really important.
Well, listen, that is such great information. Thank you. I am going to put your number in my contacts list. So if I go somewhere, I'm going to check with you, find out what the deal is before I go. Thank you very much for your information.
You're so welcome.